So I wasn't actually planning on creating this video, but I just feel like I have to. I want to. It needs to be shared. Today, I'm going to be guiding you through the exact blueprint that I used, that hundreds of my clients inside of Align have used to shift the way that reality interacts with you. And if you've ever felt like there are certain areas in your life where you can feel the block, you can feel that invisible block, like it doesn't matter what you try or what you do or what you think or what you say, there just always seems to be a block there and it doesn't seem to come pouring in. When you follow this 3-part blueprint, I'm telling you, in 90 days from now or less, but usually for me, it's like a 90-day transformation. I look back and I'm like, whoa, oh my goodness, that was what it was. And I've seen it time and time again. When I see the people inside of Align going through this blueprint, this process, and they have those breakthrough moments, I get excited. I get so excited because I know they're going to be posting some wins in the next month, in the next couple of months, of things that they had maybe been trying to receive, to create for themselves, maybe for years. So thank you for being here. Come in, come in. You don't have to watch this video. You can even listen to it as a podcast if you want. Have it on in the background while you're driving, while you're doing something, okay? Just absorb and listen up to what these 3 essential things are that have worked for me and worked for so many people. By the way, if you're watching this before September the 15th, the doors to Align are currently open just for a very short period of time to allow the women who want to transform properly on a deep level and get those results once and for all, to allow them to join our space so I can work closely with these women. If you want to join us, the link is down below. Make sure you click on the link before September the 15th. And after that point, the doors will close. And then whenever they reopen at some point in the future, I'm not sure when, because I'm expecting baby girl beginning of next year. But when they reopen, the investment to join Align will be completely different. It will be significantly higher because I need to honor how much value is inside of that program. I've been told by people inside of Align, they're like, I didn't realize just how much I was going to be getting and just how life-changing this would be. You need to make the investment higher. So if you want to get into Align now and you want to get in before the investment goes up, the link is down below. You can read all the details there. But let me walk you through now the 3 steps of this blueprint that are essential to get the shifts that you're looking for. So the first phase, which is so important, is to allow yourself to dream again. Allow yourself to reconnect and fall back in love with the vision for your life that is coming from here. Sometimes we get worn down, we get told to be realistic, we lose hope, we get frustrated, we see how some things work brilliantly for some people, but it's not working for us. And then we create the wrong conclusion. We think, oh, it must be that someone like me just can't have that. Or maybe you've inherited stories, right? We all are given stories by our parents, grandparents, society, caregivers, people around us at a young age. And we're told stories of how things are, how things work, what's possible, what's not possible, what's available, what's unavailable. And most of us, most adults walking around Earth, are living their lives still based on other people's stories, stories that other people told them about how life works for you, regardless of if those stories actually are in your favor. And if you've watched any of my videos before, you know I say it all the time, that the stories that you tell yourself, the stories that your subconscious mind is programmed to, are what determines how you show up, how you think, how you behave, the choices that you make unconsciously. It controls 95% of what we do without us even realizing it. So if the stories aren't aligned with the greatest life possible, with the greatest life experience you could possibly imagine, then those stories are not helping you, they are hindering you. That is why the first step is to allow yourself to dream again. So in the first week of Align, we go really clear. We do a whole life review, okay, without judgment, just with love, okay? And from the energy of love, we observe every area of your life. Most people say when they go through this first week, they're like, wow, I hadn't even really thought about that. I remember when I first did this exercise, which one of my mentors originally taught me, I had been pouring so much of my energy into trying to be successful, trying to make money, that my life was totally out of balance. I was giving next to no nurturing or nourishment to other areas in my life, like fun or play and adventure. And then I wondered why I wasn't able to see the success and see the growth in money that I wanted. It's like trying to drive down a road with wheels that are all out of balance and wonky and crooked with chunks missing out of them, and wondering why it's difficult to even move a meter down the road. Then isn't it interesting that area in your life that you were trying to pour almost too much desperate, lack-based energy onto suddenly starts to flourish because you started taking better care of your whole life experience? I ask the people who are in a line to share with me. They go through a workbook that really helps them to get clear on what their 10 out of 10 would look like in all areas of their life. And I ask them to share it with me if they want to. And I love reading through them because it helps me to see what that person's 10 out of 10 looks like for them. Because your dream reality is unique to you. It comes from your soul. It comes from your lived experience. It comes from what would make you truly happy. And when I learn and can see your vision for you, I love it because it helps me to help you so much more. So we dedicate actually the first 2 weeks to getting really clear, not only on what you want on a material level, but especially in week 2, I guide you through a deep meditative practice that helps you to actually discover your soul's purpose. So why you are here on a soul level. And that might be different to your career title, or it might be in perfect alignment with what you do as a career. Sometimes it's really interesting when you think, whoa, that's someone's soul purpose and that is what they do, not only for a living, but like it kind of trickles down into every relationship in their life. They are just born to have a particular kind of impact on the world around them. So that's a really beautiful part of the process as well. So to summarize phase 1 of 3, phase 1 is all about letting yourself dream again. Oh, that's the doorbell. So to summarize phase 1, it's about coming back to you and getting crystal clear clarity on what actually matters most to you, and allowing yourself to dream again, to believe again, to open your mind and your nervous system up to the fact that infinite possibilities are available to you, and to know where it is that you're going and what it is that your 10 out of 10 life looks like. It's not somebody else's vision for you. It's not what Instagram thinks is trending. It's what your soul wants. That is essential to get clear on. And that's why it's phase 1 of the blueprint. Thank you. Phase 2 is the part that actually changes where you are going for the better and completely shifts what you are attracting into your life. So phase 2 is about identifying what the subconscious beliefs have been that have been keeping you on the same level, keeping you stuck in a pattern and making it feel like no matter how hard you work or what you try, you can't get beyond that ceiling. So once we identify what the subconscious program has been, it'll be some kind of belief that is embedded with limitations, lack, fear, assumptions, if you will, of how life doesn't work a certain way or isn't available to someone like you, that kind of thing. The best way to do this is to approach it all without judgment and criticism, but just like you are uncovering the thing that has been causing the stuckness this whole time. Imagine it's a bit like every time you walk into a specific room, there is one funky, gross smell, and you don't know what it is, but it's making the whole room smell. And then you open a particular cupboard or a drawer or whatever, and you find, oh, that's what it is. Oh, there's a dead rat under, under my fridge. Or, oh, there was this one time when we had this weird smell in our kitchen. We couldn't figure out what it was for the longest time. And then I realized that I'd put some paintbrushes in a pot of water, and I'd left it there for quite a while because I'd been meaning to dispose of the paint water safely at one of those like specific recycling centers. And I didn't realize that painty water starts to react and had this horrible chemically stagnanty smell. It was gross. I won't go too deep into the smell. But the point is, we were like, oh my God, we didn't even realize that that's what it was that was causing the stink. We thought it was this, we thought it was that. And it feels so good, that moment when you finally identify what was causing the stink, and then you can do something about it. Then you can get rid of it. Most of the job is already done because you've identified what the source of that bad smell was. This is my strange, gross analogy to help you to understand what it can feel like when you finally identify the subconscious blocks that have been stopping you. It doesn't have to be a painful experience. It doesn't have to be one where you criticize yourself, you judge yourself, and you're full of shame. Nothing like that. Instead, it's just about going, oh, that's what's been causing the stink. Then you can do something about it. So we're in phase 2 right now, identifying what the limiting blocks are. And then the other part of phase 2, which is so important, is creating the stories that you want to live your life by. Okay? So this is your permission slip to decide, how do I want life to work for me? You decide how the rules of life work for you. It doesn't matter if they believe that it's not possible. It doesn't matter if they think that it can't happen. You are the greatest influence over what you experience in your life by you deciding what story is true for you. Okay? And some people listening to this who aren't into manifestation might be like, that sounds totally delusional. Yeah, it is. And it works. Have you ever wondered, have you ever scratched your head and thought, how come life works so differently for different people? It doesn't make sense. No one has a logical explanation for it. Well, here's the logical explanation, because the story that you tell yourself, the story that you decide is true for you, is more powerful than anything else. I have witnessed clients of mine where I have invited them and offered them a new story. I say to them, stop telling yourself the story that nobody's interested in buying your products, that you've spoken to everybody and nobody wants what you have to offer. And start telling yourself the new story from now on, that everybody wants to buy your products, that your products are everybody's favorite thing, that everybody's coming to you because they so want in on what you're doing. Start telling yourself that new story. And within 24, 48 hours, that same person started to get flooded with people who were interested in her business. She didn't change her strategy. She changed the story that she told herself. Some of you may also remember that I shared a story of when I was in the process of moving to Spain. And lots of people around me were saying, oh, it's so difficult. It takes so long. The process is so slow, and I've been waiting months, and it could take you a year or more even to get your residency. And they're just, they're dragging their feet and they take their time and da 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 da. And I thought to myself, that story may be true for you, thank you, but no thank you. That is not my truth. That is not my story. I have decided, delusionally, that my residency is going to come through quicker and easier than anyone has even told me. My immigration lawyer said it could take 9 to 12 months. It's going to happen in less time than that. I just know it. At the end of the day, it takes about 2 minutes for someone to look at the form and stamp it and proceed it to the next stage of the process, right? So I knew it doesn't physically, it's not 9 months of pushing papers around to get my residency sorted. It's a mere couple of moments. So I thought to myself, you know what? I've just decided that mine is going to go through the process so much quicker, and they might want to really hold on to that story. They may want to tell themselves that story. I was even invited to join a club of people who are all struggling through the process of getting their residencies. And as much as I appreciated the invitation, I thought, no thanks. I am not joining that club. I'm not joining the club of people who are struggling with slow residency application processes. Okay, so whether there is a literal club or not, you can ask yourself that question. Do I want to be a part of the club where things don't work well for people and things take forever and things don't happen the way you want them to? Or am I part of the club where everything flows easily for me? Am I part of the club where my results surprise and delight me and happen so fast that it doesn't make sense, but that's the way my life works? It has such a massive, massive impact on the way your life works for you. Make it a better experience for you based on what you decide, based on what you assume to be true for you. Law of assumption. If you have ever listened to Neville Goddard share any of his incredible success stories, he manifested things against all odds because of what he assumed to be true for him. Things that people said were impossible, he was able to manifest because he resolutely decided how things were for him. So you can do that too. And that is what I love helping my clients with inside of Align. It's a major, major part of it. And sometimes I know it can be a bit tricky. Sometimes people get a bit stuck on like, well, what can my new story sound like? You know, I'm kind of, and it's natural when we've been so sort of programmed and stuck in an old story for so long, and we've been surrounded by people who talk about and have experienced the old story for so long. It can almost feel like trying to learn a new language to open yourself up to what the new limitless story could sound like. So one of my favorite things in the world is intuitively finding what someone's new story can sound like instead. Rampaging on their behalf, you know, creating rampages for people that build so much momentum through the words that I choose. And when your subconscious takes them on, and when they become your new dominant neural pathways, nothing can stop you. It's just, I've created these voice notes on an app called Parrot where I just rampage about how my new story is. And I immerse my subconscious in them. I marinate my brain, brainwash myself with these new stories. And then in the months that follow, I listen back to that voice note and I'm like, oh my God, that's my life now. It all came true. The third and final phase, which many people don't know about or forget, and I don't think it gets talked about enough in the manifestation space, is the embodiment and aligned action phase. So first of all, you let yourself get really clear, you've let yourself dream again and believe big again. Then you have actually done the subconscious work. You're not just dreaming. You're not just putting things on vision boards. You've actually changed the way your subconscious mind is wired so that it starts working for you and not against you, which is such an important, powerful part. And then phase 3 is just as important. Phase 3 is then aligning the way that you show up in the world with your new operating system. Okay, so showing up as her, living as her, making choices as her, taking action as her, feeling like her now. And so the third phase that I help people through inside of Align is helping them to get clear on what would the best plan of action look like? What could their aligned action look like to help them to take this beautiful work that we've done together, the inner work, and help them to then see that reflected in their external reality. I think a common mistake people make is they either don't take any aligned action at all, and they just sit and try and visualize all day, every day, and not actually change the way that they are interacting with the world around them. Or they take all the action, but they didn't do phases 1 and 2. And so they burn themselves out. They're taking action, but it's totally out of alignment. They're taking action, but subconsciously, their subconscious is sabotaging them and trying to drive them in the opposite direction to try and keep them in the same place. Or they have an action plan, but they are paralyzed by fear and they just keep procrastinating on it because, again, they haven't changed where their subconscious mind is wired to. Everything just feels off and not possible for them still. So this is why all 3 phases of the blueprint are very important. And that is why that blueprint is what underpins Align. And so the people who are joining Align right now will be supported by me. We have this 90-day transformation process, okay, where you go through the course materials in the first 6 to 8 weeks or so. And then you are embodying and implementing it with my support, with the whole community's support. For 90 days. And 90 days is a magic number. There can often be a 3-month lag between how you are feeling now, what you say is true for you now, what you are experiencing energetically now, versus then the results that show up. So the results that you've got right now is pretty much a manifested outcome of who you were feeling, how you were feeling and who you were feeling about 3 months ago. That tends to be how things operate. It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes it happens much faster than that. Or sometimes our physical reality is like the culmination of obviously years worth of feeling and choices and actions. But if you're looking at changing the trajectory of your life, get excited about what your life in 3 months is going to look like. Because if you're making shifts and changes in your energy and in your subconscious now, I'm excited for how your life is going to look in 90 days. But everyone who joins Align before September the 15th will also get lifetime access to all of this goodness, all of these materials. And actually, a lot of people who are in Align, they like to go back and revisit the modules whenever they're, say, in a new season of their life and they want to refresh themselves on the fundamentals. Now that they're at like a new level in their life with new expansive goals that they want to normalize to their brain. Sometimes, once you've reached another level in your life, you may find that other limiting beliefs pop up for you at that point that you weren't aware of at this point. The lifetime access also allows you to revisit these fundamentals whenever you need them in the future as well. So if you'd like to join us inside of Align, if it resonates with you, if it feels good, I would love to see you inside. Click on the link below, all the details are there. And I hope that you got lots of value and more clarity on, if you strip it all down, what are the 3 most essential things to ensure that you have in place when it comes to creating positive shifts in your life. So let me know if you found this video useful. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss another video. Until next time, bye.